everybody, how's it going? I'm Richard. This is a little bit of everything. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you stopped by. I am outside today. It's a relatively nice day. 60-degree weather right now. They're actually calling for some storms later. But I have a project I want to get to outside on my truck. This is really the only chance I've had to do it. I got a Christmas present that I want to get installed on Old Red. So hang in there, stay with me. We'll get to it here in just a few minutes. Gonna head down to the driveway and go see what's going on with the truck. I still got some remnants of salt on my steps here because we have had some really crappy weather, lot of rain, snow, and ice, and the remnants of the snowstorm that we had January 1st have just finally melted away. So anyway, I told you we're going to be doing a project on my truck here. I don't know that I've done a full introduction to this baby. This is my 2017 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost dual turbo truck. I've had this thing, it's a 2017. I bought it brand new in 2017. And I'm getting ready to do a lot of major upgrades to this. I've already done some upgrades to it, but this is a lighting upgrade, and I'll get to that in just a second. I'm just going to give you a quick briefing on some of the things that I have done to this truck. Pop the hood real quick so I can show you a couple things that I've done. It's a little warm underneath here. There she is. You might notice this toggle switch I have here. If you turn that toggle switch, it puts on some LED lights that I've installed on the bottom of this, and I'm going to tell you what, that is extremely bright when you're working underneath this car. And I did it because, you know, you never know when you're out on the road, something happens. You might end up with an issue. So a couple other things I've done is I did put this catch can on, as you can see right there in the back. I have a K&N filter in here. I haven't tuned the engine or motor yet. I'm going to be doing that here probably within the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. I also have plans to put in a new exhaust system and some new wheels and tires. But mainly what I've done is lighting in the truck. So you see that LED I put in. I've also put in running lights. And so I've got a video of taking at night of this truck. So here it is. So as you can see in this video, I've got the running light mod that I did to it, which streams a red light down on the ground. I've also replaced every single LED light on this truck. In the back, the tail lights, you can see how bright they are. And then the over cab light, I replaced that. And then I also replaced the bulbs in the license plate lights as well. So all of those have been replaced by LED lights. Every single thing in here, plus if you look inside the cab, you'll see that I also replaced, or I did not replace, I added an interior light that glows a really faint red glow on the inside on your feet. Also in the glove box, when you open the glove box, you'll see that as well. So I added that mod as well. You know, I've just done some basic stuff, the car seats and stuff like that, but this one's going to be pretty cool. It's an additional lighting mod. So let's go over here to the back of the truck and I'll pull this thing out. This is the present that I got in December, and you'll see by the tape, it's from, well, I don't know if you can make it out. FordLEDs.com, Ford F150LED.com. Here, let me get the paperwork out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here it is, and this is the name of the company that I buy all these LEDs from. Ford, or F150 LEDs. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I don't have any sponsorship with them. I will tell you that all of the products that I bought from them have been really, really good, with one exception. I bought some of their coaster lights that didn't work for me, so I sent those back, and they were very kind to return them. But this is what I'm going to be installing today. It's a door seal kit, and let me pull this out and show you exactly what this is. They always send you candy. But this is the person who packed it. His name was Peyton. They send you some cards. I'll put a link down in the description to these guys. Like I said, I've purchased everything LED-wise that I've put in my truck from these guys, and I've been very happy with everything. Here's some instructions, and we'll go over that later. Some alcohol wipes. But here's the kit. Let me just go ahead and pull one of these out. So what these are, these will sit down in the wheel well, and they will run over and be connected to the lighting, that when I open my doors, these will light up red on the inside. And pretty cool. I mean, I've been looking at these for quite some time, and they finally got them back in stock. When they first brought them out, you had to buy a certain color. But now the crazy thing is, if I can find it in here, you get a remote and you can change the color to whatever color you want these to be to match your interior. Or if sometime you're just, you know, you're wanting to change things up and not have the same color, you can do that as well. So it's getting a little windy. Let me put this stuff in the truck and get things set up, and I'll show you what we're going to do to install this. Okay, so what we got here is here are the front door lights. Let me just pull them out of the packaging so you can see them better. The only thing that you really have to keep track of here is what you need to understand is you're going to be running wiring inside this wiring track back through to the back and then back over to the back corner, because back in this back corner over here is where the connections are going to be made in that well right there. So what you have to be cognizant of when you're placing these is which one of them has the longest wire, which is this one. So that one is going to have, this wire from this one is going to be running all the way back to the back and then back across in the back seat. This one has a shorter wire, so it'll be on the other side. And this one will run just straight back. This one's going to be installed in this location, and the wiring is going to run up and straight back through back here. So it's a relatively short run. Then there's the two small ones for the back. This one obviously will be installed here because it's got the really short cable. This one will be installed on the other side of the truck here. And the wire for it will run around the back seat and then all the way back across and come out in where we're going to be connecting them. Now, let's talk about how we're going to connect these. So all the wires will be run to this little doohickey right here. It's got 4 connections on it, and each one of these will accept the end wire for those lights. And then the other end of this, will get installed. There's 2 wires here. There's a red wire and a black wire. And these 2 wires are going to get installed inside this run in here. I'll pop this out and I'll show you that run here in just a second. Okay, I'm going to show you the installation on this side, and then I will repeat this on all 4 areas, and I'll come back and show you how I'm going to hook it up. I'll also show you how I'm going to run the wires. I'm going to take this alcohol wipe. I'm going to clean off this area right here once I decide exactly where I want this to go. And then I will peel this 3M tape off and I'll stick it on there. I will pop this track out, and then I will run the wires back to the back. And then I'll show you how I'm going to run those here in just a second. Let me get this track popped off. I have this upholstery kit that I bought online, and it's come real handy when I was doing the other work that I ran all the wires throughout the interior of the truck. So it's really easy to run these once you get these, once you learn where all the wires are run throughout here. They all run in the Ford F-150 my year model right in these door wells, and it's real. I mean, these not door wells, but these tracks down here that they have, and these things just pop right out. So let me get this thing open. Okay. These just pop right out, real simple. This alcohol wipe will work on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and get this wiped down. And this is just to make a good seal. Clean off the area real well. Be careful not to go back over it with anything. Just go ahead and let it dry. I'm going to set this one in the back. Now I need to determine exactly where I want this to sit. I kind of want it down just a little bit so that it's not hidden too much up underneath that rubber. Yeah, I think that's about perfect. So we'll go ahead, take this 3M tape off. I'm going to go ahead and get it where I want it on this side. And once you stick this down, it's down. Go ahead and pull that out. There we go. That looks good. Now, we'll take this harness. We'll go ahead and get the wire run. Up inside here, you see this plastic piece here. I'm going to run this wire up underneath here, back inside this track, all the way back up underneath here, and then it's going to come out. You can see these wires back here. These wires were from a previous installation. I have another little mod on the back here, which allows me to pop this seat loose if I can get my hand in the loop here. There we go. Anyway, and then I will run that wire up underneath that carpet right here where you can see the other one was at, and I'll run that all the way across. I'm able to feed those wires back through there. So let me get started on that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get this open here. But here's the wire coming from the other side. Real simple, just to get it tucked underneath that. Hang on, let me grab my tool. Okay, I got that one tucked. I need to go ahead and use this cleaner here to clean this spot. And you can see this one's going to be a little bit more easy to center right here in this opening right here. So sometimes you have to get a tool to get up underneath there and pry it loose, because it wouldn't just pop off, which is a good thing because you don't want them to just pop off. But I do need to get up underneath this seal back here to where the wire's at. there. So now I can pop this seal back down. Oops, get it in the right spot and I can. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this wire that I did with the one from the other, and I'm going to run it in the same location, and I'm going to run it toward the back. Once I get all of that done, I'll meet you over on the other side of the truck and I'll show you where the wires are and how we're going to make the connections. So this is that mod I was telling you about that I installed on this. It really is nothing but an aluminum hook that is tied to this nylon one that actually pulls that up to release it, as you can see, and that will allow that to pop down. There's no mechanism. They don't put anything in the in the XL trucks to allow you to release it like that. This right here is for a seatbelt strap, but yeah. So this is the bracket that this hooks to, and then this mod allows you to pop it loose. I think on the other side, Ford installs their own for this side right here. This little pull pops this loose from this bracket here, so you don't have to install any mods to get this seat back. So what I wanted to show you, as you can see, the wires are run to that location right now. I'm going to pull this carpet back, and I'm going to run them up underneath all of this carpet, and then I'm going to get them back here to this side as close as I can, and then I'll show you how I'm going to, once I've run the wire from that side in here and I see how much play I have with the wires, I may end up having to make my connection back here. So I'll show you that when I get to that point. So as you can see, these wires head off about right here. We're not all the way back to that other wire yet. So my hope is that I have enough wire to make all of my connections here and still make my connection to the wire in the panel underneath the floor. So I don't know why they didn't give you enough wire to run. I think because I ran into the same type of deal with my when I did the running board lights, and I ended up having to splice a wire to get it all the way over here. But I think, and I can't do that with these, I think to save money, they only allow you enough wire so that you can run it through the floorboard, you know, underneath here, underneath this carpet here somehow, and I didn't want to mess with that. So hopefully I'll have enough wire to make the connection back here. We'll see here in just a minute. Okay, let me see if I can't explain this, the way this is hooking up, so that it makes sense. When you read the instructions they give you, they tell you for a 2015 through 2020, which is what mine is, connection points at the rear passenger door kick panel, which is where we're at, gray with violet strip for power, black, yellow for ground. So fortunately, I had already located those for the last mod that I did that needed the exact same wire combination. So this wire right here that you see that's running between these two connection points, that's the violet wire. There's not much space on this side, so I had to find a space on this side to make this connection. The ground wire is on this one right here. You can kind of make out the yellow. I'm not wanting to move this stuff too much because I kind of want to show you how these connections are made. These are unique little connectors. So you put both wires in there, and then once you've put both wires in there, you take a crimp or a pair of wire pliers and you push down on that, and that makes the connection with the wire, and then you fold the door shut. So I'm going to show you how I've got this one set in here right now. So I have you can see the wire coming out of the back of it. That's the violet wire. And it also runs into this other clamp here. So I'm going to try to move that down as far as I can. The red wire is the power, the black wire is the ground. So I'm going to stick this red wire in this other hole. Sorry, I'm going to stick the red wire in that other hole, and then I'm going to make the connection. I'm going to put the camera up on the mount here so that I can use my other hand, so bear with me here. Okay, we're going to attempt to make this connection here. I've got my pliers, so I get this wire in here. Yep, that's good. So the connection's been made there. So then you just fold this shut, and you heard it snap. So that's good. That connection's made. So now I need to do the same thing with the ground wire on this black and yellow wire here. Not nearly as tedious. That means it's just a little bit more difficult to get into this clamp, but I should be able to. There we go. Okay. So I'll scoot that down. Let's make sure I have enough room. I do. Let me get the clamp on, the pliers on it. Put the black wire in. Just make sure you hold your tongue right, as my dad used to say, and clamp. Yep, that connection's been made. Clip that done, and that should be it for the electrical connection. So I'm going to put this whole thing back together, and then we're going to figure out where I'm going to stuff all these wires and all of that. So let me get this taken care of, and I'll show you what I've done with it when I'm done. Okay, let me talk a minute about, so here's the two connections that are left to be made to the two lights that I have on this side of the truck. I've already connected the ones in the back. I connected them. The wires are right here, and I ran them back behind here. So the connection was made right in there, or actually it's right around this corner over here. And then I ran the two wires. So as you can see from this splitter, I don't know if you can make it out, there's actually 4 wires. 2 of them are running this way, 2 of them are running this way. And so now what I'm going to have to try to figure out what to do is how to get this thing tucked up underneath there, which means I'm probably going to have to pop this panel out to do that, which I don't have a problem with that. But I wanted to talk to you about this little thingy-majigger here. This thing right here is the remote sensor. So if you want to change colors, or you want to do different things with your truck, you're going to need to leave that out. And I think I'm going to have it exposed, at least initially, to get it to the red color. I assume it stays red once you dial red in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to leave it exposed, change the color where I want it, and then I'm going to get it stuffed up underneath this as well, because I don't want to be able to see any of that. So let me get the wiring buttoned up, get everything else tucked away where it needs to be, and I'll show you what I did there, and then we'll turn this on and see if we can't get it to work. So I wanted to show you these connections. So these are the 2 connectors that are running from the lights here in the back. These are the 2 that are coming from the sending unit. And so you can see inside there's 4 little connectors, leads inside there that match up to this. There's also just a tiny little notch and a notch inside of this. So you have to line those up when you make this connection. But the instructions say it doesn't matter which one of these you connect to which of these connectors. So if that's the case, then I should be okay. So now I think all of the electrical connections are made. Let me stuff these wires up underneath here, and then get the track back on, and I'll show you everything that I've got done. and then we'll start it up. Okay, there's everything all buttoned up with the cover back on. I got the trim piece back. Everything's tucked away. You can't see any of those wires. Everything else is up underneath the carpet, so there's no visual sign of those wires, so you can't see anything there. So that side's all buttoned up. So here we go. I wanted to show you the final result. I came out here during the night so that you could see. They're really bright. They look really cool. It's hard to tell from this video angle. For whatever reason, they show up orange here, but they are a bright red. I mean, they match the interior great. They match the color of the truck great. You know, this is the driver's side, obviously, but with the red light accent lights that are shooting down on the ground, it just really, really looks cool. I think it's a really neat accent. Came out really good. I'm happy with it. As you hit the unlock button, it stays on for about 5 minutes. And when you hit the unlock button on the truck, that's when everything lights up. Since they are wired on with the running lights, they obviously come on and go off at the same time. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up. It was a relatively easy install. If you have any questions or want to do it yourself, feel free to reach out to me. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give you a view of what it looks like at night. Hey there, so I'm about to lose my light, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this installation. If you have any questions and want to try this for your own vehicle, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be happy to do that. And I really hope that you enjoyed this. Give me a like and subscribe, and have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm getting ready to transition to the second part of the video, so stay tuned, but I hope that you enjoyed that. We'll talk to you soon. Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a blessed day. This is the portion of the video where I want to talk a little bit about the Bible and a verse that I want to leave you with. The verse I'm going to leave you with today is from 1 John chapter 3, verse 18, and the verse is, Dear children, let us not love with word or speech, but with actions and in truth. You know, there are a lot of lessons to be learned in the book of John, and I would encourage you to spend time in this book, you know, to discover all of those lessons. That book and every other book. Spending time in the book is where you're going to get a lot of your, you know, your spiritual fulfillment. You know, I would encourage you to reach out to a local church near you and get engaged in a Bible study class. You know, that's where you're going to begin to uncover the deep, meaningful journey in the Word of God. But I'll talk a second here about the verse, chapter 3, verse 18. John is basically summarizing the need for Christians to act on love when he tells us not to love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. You know, it's important to communicate our love through our words. Yes, it's important to do that, but we also must do so through our actions. You know, when you read the Greek version of this verse, it once again uses the root word agape. That's the meaning of agape is a selfless and sacrificial love. You'll find that word used, you know, throughout the Bible. You know, when Jesus spoke about love, he not only spoke of love, he provided powerful actions, you know, to match his teachings. John 13 offers a clear example of that, and when Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. You know, every time I think about that, I'm really blown away when I spend time pondering the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings on his knees with a basin of water, washing the feet of his disciples. It really does humble me. It humbles me to the core when I think about that. I know we as Christians love one another, but are we really willing to get on our knees and wash each other's feet? Heck, I'm not even sure I've done that for my wife. When you look at the verse and the way it's laid out, you're going to notice that in the exact center of that verse is the word love. And I don't think that the meaning on that is lost on me. It's obvious to me that love is the center of everything that we do. As Christians, as people in our society, The truth in the telling of our spiritual nature and how we interact is bound in our love for one another. I think probably the most powerful evidence of true love, indeed and in truth, is Christ's sacrifice on the cross. You know, his willingness to be sacrificed to save us, and everything that he went through to do that. You know, but the thing that you have to remember when you think about his sacrifice on the cross is this also included his resurrection. You know, that the offering love in action that changed the course of history. You know, there's a lifetime worth of lessons we could learn when it comes to how we should love one another. You hear me end every single one of my videos by saying, God loves you so very much, and so do I. You know, those are not just words. I truly mean it. I truly do. You might wonder, how can I love you and not know you? Well, through faith, I love him, and through faith, I know him. And through that same faith, he commands us to love one another. So that's how I can love you. You know, if you ever need to reach out to me or want to talk about this or anything else, please feel free to do so. Or if you have, you know, deeper questions or need to connect at a deeper level, I'm certainly here to help you with that as well. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would absolutely love to connect with you. That's it for now. To all of you out there, just know that God loves you so very much, and so do I. I hope you have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon.